Sorry to disturb your wonderful discussions. We are starting very soon and kind of right now. Yes. Thank you so much. I guess after 2 hours of very amazing stories from industry experts and young entrepreneurs, there's a lot to discuss and have conversation about just over the last few minutes, but we're heading back on the schedule. So now we're heading into something very different. So our co-host, Melbourne Venture Club, has inserted a sort of like a mini pitch competition within today's agenda, and I'll be handing over to one of the co-host team, Oscar, to give us more information on this. Thank you all.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. And okay.
This is for
And hello, everyone. My name is Oscar. I'm Zhuzhou Gong, and I'm also studying in UniMelb. I'm studying media and communication, and also screen and culture studies. And I'm also event planner. I'm the photographer and original musician, and also I'm the host today. So we are gonna move into the AI startup pitching showcase. Are you excited? Yes, let's do it. So we have 6 teams, and first, I'd like to thank one of our co-hosts, the Venture Club of the University of Melbourne, and it's a student-funded and student-managed and student-operated non-profit club. And their mission is to foster a student-led innovation ecosystem, strive to maintain strong connections and collaborations with leading universities and communities around the world. And also, we have connected over 50 universities club, for example, like Peking University's Innovation Student Association, and also European Venture Club, Harvard Venture Club. And also, we organized the Gemini Star Entrepreneurship Competition, over 100 students to join us. So please join us, yeah. And also, let me just thank our incredible team from the Melbourne Venture Club. First, let me just thank the president, Aria Wang. Thank you so much. And also thanks our Chief Operating Officer, Yixuan Xu. Thank you. And also thanks our Chief Marketing Officer, Nancy Zhuang. So next, I will introduce our today's professional judges. And please let us welcome Lagdameo, Senior AI Ambassador from Antler. Welcome. And also welcome Rayat, Ambassador from Airtree. Welcome. Let's welcome Connie, Partner Director from United Elevator. Welcome. Let's welcome Alan Cui, Managing Partner from Boson Ventures. Welcome. So it is our great honor to have our professional judges today. So now let me just introduce the rules of our pitch session. This is a really important part, so our team members, please listen carefully. And so each team will have 7 minutes to present your pitch. And after each pitch, our 2 judges will ask 1 question each. And the team will have 3 minutes in total to respond. So the presentation time is 7 minutes, and Q&A session is 5 minutes. So that will be 12 minutes in total. And after the final pitch, our judges will take at least 10 minutes to calculate the scores before we announce the results. And also to help us stay on track, we also have a timekeeper for this session. Thank you, Evie. Yep, and she'll give us the clear signals when time is up. So please stop at that moment, and please keep an eye out. All right, so the most exciting thing. Let's welcome the first team, Team 1, Archiva AI. Welcome the presenter, Jimmy. Welcome. This is the next page. This is the
previous page.
Yeah.
All right. Right. It's just on the screen, right? All right. Good afternoon. Have you started your time yet? All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I have to be really quick now. So I'm Jimmy Lim, the co-founder and CEO of Achieva AI. I actually hesitated a little bit when I was invited to pitch today because of the name NextGen AI. I'm obviously last generation myself, but what I'm going to pitch today, Achieva AI is truly next generation. So Achieva AI is a fair, transparent, and truly student-centric platform powered by AI. Now, before we get started about our products, I'm going to talk a little bit about what we are dealing with. So every year, there are more than 5 million students actually study overseas, and it's projected to grow to 7 million by the year of 2030. And the amount of tuition fees involved is actually more than 320 billion US dollars, and it's forecasted to grow to more than 400 billion by the year of 2030. And it's just tuition fees that we're talking about, like not calculating the living expenses, air tickets, and other stuff that is in entertainment that is involved in such investment. So it's actually quite a big investment. And I think it's actually a big impact for a 7 million family, not just the student itself. The decision actually impacted more than 7 million family in the world, around the world. So I'm not going to go into details, the old world and the new world. So why do we build Achieva AI is a question, right? It's such a huge industry, but there are still a huge gap and loophole in the industry itself that need to be fixed. So that's why we built Achieva AI to solve most of the problems here. One of the reasons that we wanted to solve is actually to eliminate the bias and minimizing human error. So obviously, in a lot of advisories that are being provided to international students are maybe impacted or influenced by commissions, the commercial value of placing the students to certain institutions. And this is the main reason why we wanted to build a transparent and a fair AI to solve this problem. And making sure that it's a full transparency to the students who are applying multiple universities or multiple destinations in one single platform as well. So we are providing that visibility to students. And most importantly, is connecting students to the right personnel for accurate guidance and reliable guidance as well. Now, most importantly, I think we would like to create a safe space for students as well. As Fina just mentioned, you wish to have an AI friend in the future. Hopefully, Achieva AI can be one of your friends or one of maybe your friend's friend in the future. Because we want to create that safe space. Students can ask any questions, can have any conversations, and be able to get the guidance and the supports they want and they need from Achieva AI. And most importantly, is empowering students. All the students using our platform will be able to rate the service provided by the education agent. So in having that said, which means that students get the power to actually improve the quality of the service that is provided to them. Now, we have actually built two products here. Achieva AI is actually a two-in-one product. We have interactive and generative AI that is student-facing, but we also have a SaaS platform that we call it a student management portal that will actually help assist students in the full process during the application. Achieva AI, the generative AI that I mentioned, it's quite similar to ChatGPT, you would say, but we are focusing only on education. Everything education related, studying overseas, or even the living environment in an overseas country, in a foreign country, is something that we have actually built a really huge database and we have input onto Achieva AI. So students actually will be able to get the reliable information from Achieva AI itself. And one of the features that I would like to highlight here is Unimatch features. So students just have to answer a couple of questions, provide a little bit of insights about themselves, and we are able to generate a study plan, a personalized study plan and recommendation to the students. And the students would then be connected to a real human for the next stage of the application. Of course, on Achieva AI, it doesn't just provide you with recommendation. We do have a document polish features where we actually help polishing the documents of the students, such as personal statements and CV or motivational letter that is required by the universities. So after they have decided to move into application process, this is where we link to our student management portal. Student management portal is where we manage all the application process, store all the information and the documentations of the students. So it's providing a safe space for the students as well. Like the documents that they uploaded is not uploaded into a cloud or the internet, but actually it's stored in a local servers that we have built here with the student management portal. Other than that, we also allowed our team members to share files, assign tasks to different team members, and also set reminders on the student management portal itself. So it also serves as a customer relationship management portal as well. I'm not going to go into like the tests that we have conducted. Basically, we treat this very seriously, so we have actually conducted a lot of tests comparing ourselves to other large language models. If you do have any other questions, do feel free to ask me afterwards as well. I'm going to get into our business model. We are actually building a full cycle ecosystem here. So the students get to interact with a student advisor or an AI companion or an AI friend, as mentioned by Fina before. Then they will get into like the application process, which we link to the student management portal, and we will then distribute it to our partners and hence launch it to the education providers. And the students would be able to have the visibility of the status of the application process as well. Right, I'm going to talk about our team. Would like to do that a little bit because we went into the market as well, a little bit of tractions that we have gained in our market. And what is important is actually the team. I'm so sorry I have no time. But I welcome you to ask me any question. Thank you so much.
Okay, we're going to move to the Q&A session. So please our judges to ask questions.
Okay, I'll start off. Thank you. So there seems to be a lot here. Can I just try to understand what your core product offering is and who you're selling it to?
So that was actually part of our business model that I didn't get to talk about. So we do have subscription fees. So we have subscribers. Education agent will be like the student management portal users, but we are marketing it to the students. So the AI is actually student facing, and we have a B2C to B model, which means that we do generate leads from students, and then we pass on the students' leads to the education provider, the education agents that we work with. So it's a network of education agents that it's basically our subscribers, and students would be the one that we serve on the platform. It's free of charge.
Okay. Can you, I mean, just from what I saw, it was a CRM. So like if we assume that's a B2B, you know, first business model, how does that link to going to students first from a B2C side?
So we have two products. So basically the front end is the student facing. So students get all the interactions with the AI itself, asking all the questions, generating like the profile, having the study plan. And then they will be linked to the B2B end, which means to the education agents. They will be like, they will be assigned to one of the agent partners that we have. And so that is how it's actually linked together.
I'll help you out. Well done on the pitch. I'll help you out. Tell us why you're the right person to build this.
So we, as I'm going to quote Mike Tyson here. So Mike Tyson once said, everything is an idea until you get a punch in the face, right? So execution is the most important bit. So we have the professional and experienced team, and at the same time, we do have the young and innovative team as well. So it's a good mixture and a good blend of the innovative and young, as well as the matured and experienced like myself.
Thanks for the pitch. I really love the ideas. So I just got one quick question. Like, could you dive into a little bit more about the revenue streams and the profit streams, and also like any benchmarks you're using? Because I know that you have done a lot of tests already. Yeah, so please dive into a little bit more about that. Thank you.
Thank you. In regards to revenue streams, it's actually in one of my slides, that's why I didn't get to present that. So we have multiple revenue streams. We do have like the B2B commissions, we do have the B2C commissions, as well as the subscription fees. And what we are getting right now, like other than the subscription fees, is actually the marketing support from the universities that we work with. So it's on another slide as well that I didn't get to say. We are endorsed by a lot of providers right now. A year into the business, we're actually endorsed by more than 35 institutions all around the world, especially in Australia itself. And knowing how efficient Australia universities can be, the public ones, we are actually in a really efficient track in securing all those agreements and endorsements.
Thank you, Jimmy. My question probably is around so you are solving a very complicated problem, and lots of startups actually try to solve before. And especially I want to understand a little bit about the agent side, because in Australia particularly, for example, for Uni Melbourne, they only have very few agents work with them. So which means this value chain is actually quite consolidated.
Exactly.
And as someone play in that value chain, you kind of doesn't really have a bargaining power to communicate, to actually negotiate with those agents. So how you think your position in that value chain, especially when the B2C side is not really a recurring. So at least for the application side, it's a one-off, or like in 3 years they probably apply for something else, right?
Okay, multiple questions here. So I try to answer as much as I can. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So having that said, that actually position us in a pretty good position as well. As I mentioned, we are securing like the agreements. Like you mentioned, the prestigious universities, they wouldn't be providing agreements or representation to a lot of agencies. So obviously we are getting all those endorsements. Okay, time's up. I'm sorry. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So before the team 2, let me just introduce today's distinguished guest award presenter, Mr. Paul Hammer. And Paul Hammer MP, he's the Parliamentary Secretary for Jobs, 维州经济就业增长助理部长, and he's also the state member for Boxiu and Boxiu 选区州议员. So Mr. Paul Hammer is the member for Boxiu and Parliamentary Secretary for Jobs in the Victorian Government. He's a strong advocate for strengthening Australia-China trade and economic partnerships. He champions Victoria's collaboration with our largest trading partners in trade and investment, international education, research, innovation, and startup ecosystem exchange, fostering opportunities for shared growth. Welcome. Okay, all right, so next we'll move to the team 2, and they are MadCom. Let's welcome presenter Camila. Welcome.
Hi everyone, I'm Camila. We are building the paradigms of healthcare and digital twin that goes beyond doctor center. Just like TikTok matches people with right video, we match people with right health plan in real time. Today, I want to answer 3 questions: why now, how we do, and why choose us. Okay, wait a moment. Sorry, wait a moment, and maybe we update another PowerPoint. Okay, maybe let me skip it. The timing couldn't be better, because you can see that the AI in healthcare and GLP-1 drugs are booming. Look at him and hers. Could you believe that their company stocks double in 2 years just by embodying AI into telehealth? So this company successful can prove one thing: people are willing to pay for AI in healthcare. MyCom builds infrastructure for AI digital therapies and personalized health management. Actually, the logic is quite simple. We will use amount of current user data to train AI model, and the data-driven model will provide personalized solutions for users. And nextly, the user high-quality feedback will back to our model. It's like a continuous loop, you know. Let me go first. Okay, we start with obesity, because you know just one obesity linked to over 200 chronic disease like hypertension, diabetes. And actually, GLP-1 drugs bring people in quickly, but real challenge is how to keep weight off. And our train can solve this problem. It works like daily coach, helping users sustain results and moving into chronic care. I'm skipping. Okay, here's our strongest advantage. On the user side, we already have over 218,000 subscribers with high retention, high quality, and high LTV. And secondly, we have over 20 top weight loss media accounts appealing online users continuously. On the partner side, we work with more than 20 pharma companies, including Novo Nordisk, Lilly, Innovent, and more than 200 healthcare institutions. And the most important thing in terms of revenue, the ecosystem is already generating more than 600 million RMB a year. So this isn't just a slide dream, it's a real business scale. Here's our AI agents like make train on millions of medication history that users are willing to upload. So when users ask some question about healthcare, the reply doesn't guess. It already know what works in real life. The the user's active engagement is our stickiness. That is our edge over menus and hints. Here's our another models, multi-vertical models is too complex. Maybe let me explain it briefly. On the left side, you can see all data we plug in from wearables, CGMs, even medication records. And the mood in the middle, we put it all together. So a 5-minute doctor visit turns into 1,500 hours of AI insight. And the outcome, 19.5 success in weight and sugar control, nearly 0 side effects, and the real-time disease monitoring will be provided. Here's our AI hardware ecosystem. All devices like CGM, smartwatch, all will connect to our model platform together. Because we have strong tools, so the impact is quite clear. The cost will be reduced to nearly 0, and the efficiency will be maximized, while the user engagement and LTV will be significantly enhanced. Okay, let me compare traditional AI companies like OpenAI or BMYG. Although have strong model, but the data always idle, that is hard to commercialization. And on the other side, the traditional healthcare companies like Ali Health or Jingdong Health do have data, but they always generic, low engagement. That is also hard to monetization. But MyCom sit in different and new supports. We start from real users, but we go further. High willingness health data and a proven monetization loop is our base. Our team brings top talent from both Australia and China that covers 3 dimensions: business, products, and science. Lawrence is our CEO, is a serious entrepreneur in consumer health. And Simon is our CFO, come from Morgan Stanley, held multi-billion cross-border deals and Furu product for over 2 billion digital health platform. And Hong Hao has 26 years in biopharma, including 15 at Novo Nordisk. And from Australia, I focus on communication and strategy and have maybe a bit of experience. And Si Yu brings McKinsey and CSIO experience in digital transformation. And our chief scientific advisor, Grace Zhang, come from Hong Kong University and UNSW, have deep background in medicine and biomedical engineering. Okay, the PowerPoint has some room. Yeah, it's so pity. We start with the vision. We want to create the backgrounds to reshape how billions people access care. Today, it's no longer just a vision. It's a real business scale with proven customer base and the full supply chain and the monetization loop. The AI revolution in healthcare is certain. The only question is, would you want to build it with us? Thanks.
Hey, thanks for that. Well done. That was a great pitch. I didn't quite understand. Could you go back to the traction slide? Did you say you're doing 600 million RMB of revenue?
The revenue?
Yeah, I don't. Maybe you could just give us a sense of what's the sort of stage of the business today. Like some things suggested that it's quite mature, and then I'm just trying to sort of understand, like, where is the business up to today? This is real data from the company.
Yeah, this is our last year revenue. Yes, more than 600 million RMB a year.
Oh, that's interesting. It seems very mature to be pitching at a like a startup competition. I'm just trying to sort of put this in the context of some of the other companies we're going to see today. Okay, do you have an ask of the audience, perhaps? Like, what are you sort of hoping to get out of today? Is this sort of really for customers, sort of fundraising? What are you trying to achieve?
You mean the audience or the?
Yeah. I mean, like, so it sounds like you've got a lot of traction in China. What are you doing in Australia? Like, you looking for customers, or are you trying to grow the business in Australia? What's the objective?
Actually, we will dividing into ways. Firstly, we will focus on some customers like B2C, yes, and provide personalized health management for them. And secondly, we will partner with some pharma companies or pharma institutions, yes, to provide more precise data to help them get more precise targeting. Yes, actually, this content in my slides will provide, but slide have some room. It's so pity. I don't know why. Yeah.
No worries. Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you for the pitch. It's pretty funny. I think you should be here, actually, giving advice to the startups. But yeah, I guess I'd just love to, I mean, what's the long-term vision? Like, where do you see this going, let's say 5 to 7 years from now? Say it's here in Australia, like, what do you see the user flow look like and the experience for, 5 to 7 years from now?
You mean in Australia?
Yeah, Australia, globally, yeah.
Yes, as I mentioned before, in Australia, maybe in the next 2 years, we plan to set up our pharma companies to maybe partner with some farmers in healthcare institutions, yes, to provide our service because we have amount user data. Yes, that is our strongest advantage, and as I mentioned before, monetization loop. Yes, I think in the next 2 years we will set up the cooperation with the pharma companies. Yeah.
Awesome. How do you think about regulatory risk? So if you're based here in China, you're based in, the company's presumably based in China, like how would you expand to Australia or US? Like I would assume there'd be like a sovereign data risk.
Yeah, it's a interesting question. We already considered about it, and we have the AI model trained on millions of medication histories, and on our technicals, yes, apartments, yes, they said that it can solve this problem by the model, maybe through some calculations, yes, and actually the China data have some common with Australian data because we focus on weight loss and the sugar control firstly, and actually it's a common difficult, yes, not different, maybe not have a lot of difference, yeah.
Okay, thank you.
I got a question. It's like I can see that your company, it's not like startup, it's a company already, and you're planning to tap into the US and Australian market. So have you done any actions yet, like the go-to-market strategies and the TJA registrations, because you got devices? So, and also I'm wondering, like, because I think you provide some digital, therapies. So is it like I shouldn't say it's a gray zone, but is it like you provide the advice, but you don't have the license? So I'm just wondering about that. Thank you.
Thank you, questions. Actually, we just focus on consuming healthcare. We don't provide some actual devices for some real symptoms or real cancers or other sick. We just focus on maybe consumer health. Yes. So maybe when users have some tough problems, yes, our system will transfer into humans to solve these problems. Yeah.
Maybe just curious. So what's the Chinese name of this company?
Mycom.
Mycom.
Yes, Mycom.
Mycom, okay.
It's a Hong Kong company.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks for our judges and also presenter. So next, let's welcome Team 3, Senstride. Welcome presenter Justine.
Achiever AI, the first one. Yes.
Wait. Hello?
Excuse me.
Hello?
Yep.
Awesome. All good? Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Justin. I'm a founder of Senstride, and I'm here today to tell you about our mission to predict, prevent, and preserve. What do I mean by this? To elaborate a bit more, we're looking to predict falls using real-time, real-life, and personal data in order to prevent falls by enabling early intervention, in order to preserve independence and quality of life as we all age. Now I'm going to stray from my pitch a little bit and start off with a question because I never get to do this sort of thing before. So I'd like a show of hands. Who knows somebody over 65? I'm looking in the front row here anyway. Okay, think of that person. Think of the person you're closest to, and put up your hand if that person has fallen in the past year, or you know that person has fallen over in the past year. Interesting. Okay, cool. So statistically, 1 in 3 of you should have your hand up. 1 in 3 are older adults will fall every year. But often we don't really see the signs until something serious happens, right? For me, when I put my hand up, that's my grandmother. My grandmother fell seriously twice, ended up in hospital. The second one, she never walked again. She was in aged care for the next 3 years and passed away, unfortunately. But my grandmother isn't... Sorry, that wasn't meant to happen. My grandma isn't a unique case, right? 140,000 elderly Australians end up in hospital every year. That's 1 every 4 minutes. And the real tragedy is this. Half of these falls can be prevented with timely intervention. But our issue is that we don't know when to provide this intervention. We don't have the right data. So that's our vision. Our vision is to try to understand when an intervention is required so that we can provide these interventions in a timely manner. What does that mean? Imagine somebody's fall risk looks like this. And typically, we only do something after somebody has fallen down already, right? But the reality is, this person's likely fallen a bunch of times before and had a bunch more near misses. So what happens if we could, imagine if we could pick up a near miss here and implement an intervention, reducing the risk of these falls for long periods of time and reducing the risk of this critical injury. And obviously, this is really dear and personal to myself, but it's also a big thing in aged care at the moment as well. There's a new Aged Care Act that's coming in that's really increasing the mandates around falls reporting and falls management, individualized. And it's only going to change the aged care market increases and people spend more and more time at home. And this is a really big thing for us. We've had 2 aged care providers at our really early stage provide $50,000 worth of their own resources in order to help us develop our product. So what is our product? Our product is probably pretty simple if you think about it. What we're trying to do is measure how people move, constructs a force prediction model to predict when they're going to fall, and then use that to provide timely intervention. So what's the secret sauce? Why are we interested here? The interesting thing here is that current wearables and current devices only detect movement. And movement is great for understanding what happened, but it's not good for understanding why it happened. And this is really critical in the context of falls. So imagine Tom, your elderly neighbor, walking down the street, and you suddenly pick up this massive change in his movement, right? Is that him tripping and falling and stabilizing himself? Or is that him dodging a dog that's running down the street, right? Context really matters when we talk about dynamic situations such as falls. And so that's what we're seeking to do. We're seeking to create a new model specifically around falls prevention and falls prediction, which takes into account both movement and contextual data together, providing unique insights into the ability to, unique insights to the falls prediction. So what does that mean? Ultimately, what we're aiming to do is move technology from falls detection to falls prevention. If you want to look at it another way, clinicians are great at preventing falls, but they have two major flaws. Number one, they can't clone themselves, they're not completely scalable. And number two, they're not omnipresent, they can't be there all the time. And so that's what we're trying to solve here. We are still early stage, and I acknowledge that right at the front. We don't have 600 million RMB in revenue, or billion RMB, or whatever that is. So we're still working out our we're still working out a business model, but we're imagining two types of products geared towards either in care or at home, and at a price point which is sort of familiar with other technologies in the falls management space. Numbers, again, still working them out, but no matter where you look at it, whether you look at specifically a consumer market where individuals are looking at buying their own devices, or whether you're looking at aged care providers, specifically looking at aged care providers or people in aged care in countries with a high net worth, high worth countries, and government-funded aged care as well, there's still a significant market we think that can be addressed by a product like this. And obviously, things are changing, and changing very rapidly over time. As I said, where are we now at the moment? We've partnered two really innovative aged care providers, and we're running feasibility trials in a couple of months, or a couple of weeks actually, which is really exciting for us. And we're continuing exploring to get more partners on board as well. Team, I myself, I've spent the last decade or so developing devices for physiotherapy and occupational therapy. Whoops. Thank you. Physiotherapy and occupational therapy, including a robot for stroke rehab, which has been commercialized a couple of years ago. Tommy is a AI expert. He's a resident AI guy. Unfortunately, he's not here today. He should be pitching. He's got a lot of experience in developing models for medical diagnosis. And Mingray is our gun device engineer, a lot of experience in algorithms for movement analysis and wearables. And obviously strongly supported by a large advisory panel as well. So what are we looking at now? Currently, we're developing proof of concept, which has been funded by a government grant at the moment, which is very exciting for us. We are looking to raise a pre-seed fund in the next few months, where we were looking at doing some alpha pilots, where we're really looking to understand adherence and usability of the device, allowing us to scale into a larger rollout, get regulatory approval as that's required, and really collect the data required to build the model itself. 30 seconds. Okay, awesome. Two asks today. Number one is talk to people. Talk to your 65-year-old friends about falls prevention. They might not need it now, but it is something that's a bit silent, and we really need to understand that a bit more. This is a link to a government website which has a lot of resources around falls prevention techniques and interventions. On our side, I'd love you to help us out if we can. If anyone knows anyone in aged care that would be interested in having a chat, would more than love that. And if you're an investor that might be interested in talking with us a little bit more and understanding a bit more about the project and giving some feedback on the project, that'd be really good. Anyway, that's it, so thank you.
Thank you. Please welcome. Hello. Please welcome our judges to ask questions.
Question. I think it was a lot of hands up in the audience, so well done. Could you talk a little bit more detail about the sort of product and maybe the kind of form factor, the hardware piece, and how you envision that, and then also the kind of maybe the biometric data that you're sort of looking for to do some of these predictions?
Yeah, absolutely. So the product is actually a really interesting question, and it's something that's our understanding has changed over the last little bit. We have been, if you go back to our proof of concept, our current study, what we're looking at is throwing a whole bunch of sensors over somebody's body and you're really trying to use that to identify which sensors give us good information around falls and falls predictions. We don't know, and what we've realized a little bit more is that's different for every individual. Everyone's sort of different preferences. So it could, in our case, it could be something like a pair of smart glasses. It could be a pendant. One which we're really interested in, one we're piloting at the moment, is actually a walking frame. A walking frame gives you forward access and also backward access to monitor how people are moving as well.
And so it's really kind of relying on kinetic data as opposed to maybe sort of scanning for arrhythmia or something like that.
Yeah, at the moment, yes, kinetic. The idea being that a fall is a physical phenomenon. And so even if there are other contributors to somebody's imbalance or somebody's lack of stability, we should be able to recognize that within the kinetic data itself.
That makes sense.
Probably a clarification here. So when you say prevention, at what level through the data you try to identify the disease they have, or you try to identify some things in the environment that you need to remove? Both.
Really good point. So we know that fall is a result of both intrinsic and extrinsic parameters, right? And so that could be things on the ground that people are more likely to trip over, or it could be somebody sort of losing strength in their ability. And so the idea is that the system is able to both identify both extrinsic and intrinsic things and then use that to inform interventions, which hopefully lead to a reduction in falls.
Thank you, Justin.
Well done, the pitch. I'm just wondering, about the financial projections, because I think maybe it's a long way for you to prove your business models and something like that. So could you tell us more about a roadmap and also financial projections? Thank you.
You're right. It's a lot. It is a bit of a roadmap. So currently, at the moment, as I said, we're funded by a government grant, which is fantastic. Longer term, we are looking for investment. I'm sorry, I actually don't know what you mean by financial protections, so I'm stalling a bit. 600 million. Okay. So let's talk about iterations. Let's talk about how we're going to get there and short term. So our plan is short term to try to roll out something which is a little bit smaller, not necessarily predicting falls to start with, but dealing a little bit more with reablement and really geared towards aged care and aged care providers, where they don't just care about a reduction in falls, but they care about keeping their clients happy, keeping their clients engaged, keeping clients healthy, and in that in itself builds a better community amongst the thing, but also reduces obviously the treatment costs and healthcare costs as well. So short term, we think that with the initial pilots, we'll be able to roll out something which might generate a little bit of revenue towards those goals. And this will hopefully get to this point where we can collect sufficient data in order to produce a robust model, which will enable us to make these projections.
Awesome. Thank you. Good pitch. So I guess doubling on Connie, what Connie's saying around the commercial model. So walk me through it. Is it are you starting off with sort of hardware and then you intend to do a software and licensing, or that's
a good question. So I think initially there will be a small hardware piece. We're trying to keep away from that as much as possible and use as much off-the-shelf stuff as we can. We're not sure yet, to be fair, which one exactly that is. But what we do think is that there will be different options for different people. And so it might be for some people, we might be able to get away with an off-the-shelf pair of glasses, which will have motion sensors and cameras and things like that. We might be able to use room-based cameras to look at context and understand how people are moving from that perspective. But yeah, ultimately, I guess the data which is generated and the things, 30 seconds, great. The data in the model is generated, we hope will be sort of robust across different data types and different sorts of devices.
Thank you.
Thanks. Oh, good. Thank you. Thanks very much, everyone.
Okay, thank you so much. And now let's welcome Team 4, Fabulation, and welcome presenter Lisa. Simon. Oh, Simon, okay.
I'll pretend to be Lisa.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll get one of them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Should I just wait for those guys? Good to go. Thanks for the opportunity. By way of introduction, I am a professional writer. Having brought 2 books to market previously, I would love to be able to stand here in front of you and tell you that I'm a novelist, but I can't do that. And the reason I can't do that is because there's no money in writing books. The stats speak for themselves. 50% of full-time writers in the US are unable to earn the minimum wage. That's a stark fact, and it's repeated everywhere in the globe. There is no money in writing. Sadly, it's not a new problem. In 1936, George Orwell wrote, "There's only one way to make money at writing, and that's to marry a publisher's daughter." The world has changed. We clearly wouldn't go out with that kind of statement today. Those are the words of the past. But unfortunately, they're also the words of the present, because right now, writers can't earn money from writing. From Fabulation's perspective, what we're trying to do is to make sure that those are not the words of tomorrow. The truth is, the economics of publishing are broken. Most writers struggle to find an audience. Even those who are lucky enough to be snapped up by a traditional publisher, only 6.7% of those people can sell more than 10,000 books in their first year. And if they bring the book to market on their own as an independent author, 90% of those books sell less than 100 copies in their lifetime. While those numbers made me feel better about my own sales, I won't tell you how many I sold, but it was more than 100, they still make for pretty stark reading. Because when you think about how much an author earns from bringing a book to market, everybody takes their money out of the pile before it comes to the creator at the end, and a writer typically earns $1 out of a $10 book. Even if they sell 10,000 copies of their book, that is only $10,000. That is not enough for anybody to live. So, why is that a problem? Well, first of all, the reason that writers can't find an audience is that their books are classified in genres. Everybody know what genres are? Mystery, science fiction, fantasy. If you search for fantasy on Amazon, you will get 70,000 results. That's why you can't find an audience as a writer. If you want your work to be found, to stand out from the other 70,000 books in the crowd, then what you have to do is you have to pay to play. Considering that you can only earn $1 per book, where is the ROI in paying to play? Genres are simply a marketing tool that were made up by the ancient Greeks. It was quite easy back in those days. Your book was either a tragedy or a comedy. These days, there are 144 genres and subgenres, and there are 500,000 books published each year, at least 500,000 fiction books published each year. It doesn't make sense to put them into buckets where there are thousands of other competitors. As a tool, genres are no longer fit for purpose. Secondly, as I've mentioned before, writers are the last people in the queue for royalties. It made sense when everybody bought their books from bookstores that bookstores took a significant proportion of the profit because they had to pay for the bricks and mortar store that surrounded the books. But what doesn't make sense is that the online retailers like Amazon and other retailers still take the large majority of royalties at the point of sale. What they're doing is they're profiteering at the expense of creatives. Finally, from a publisher's perspective, a publisher carries all the risk of bringing a book to market. They have to take a punt on a writer. They have to decide whether they think a book is going to be worth any money, and it's up to them to either win or lose on their investment. In today's world, there's no such thing as discovering anything. Everything we are fed in our reels is the subject of an algorithm, and those are profit-driven and run by corporations. A reader rarely comes across... Oh, this is confused, sorry. There's a whole load of stuff going on the screen here. A reader rarely comes across a new book accidentally. What they do is they stumble across a book. Hopefully they don't fall over a book, if we take it our previous presenter. If they stumble across a book, the reason they stumble across it is because somebody paid to have it put in front of them. In addition, we see this in social media. Social media takes us down a rabbit hole. It feeds us the same stuff all of the time, and our children are addicted to it. I cannot get either of my two children to read a book because they are watching stuff that is being fed to them by something that has been paid to give them that information. their perspectives, our perspectives, and our time are being stolen by corporations. Fabulation is the solution. Sorry, turn the page too quickly. Fabulation is the solution. It's a decentralized publishing platform that dismantles the brokenomics of publishing and builds a faster, fairer, and freer creative economy. The fairness comes from our approach to royalties. We're using blockchain technology to make it so that when there's a transaction between two people, the royalties are paid immediately, and that 95% of those royalties go to the creative. It's faster because we're using blockchain technology to distribute the royalties the moment the transaction is complete. And it's freer because our AI-powered discovery is allowing books to be searched for on a much deeper level. Instead of searching for fantasy on Fabulation, you would search for exactly what you're looking for. I want to read books about university students who were studying AI and then mysteriously disappeared when they were captured by UFOs. Why can't you search for that for a book? And if a book matches it, it will come back on our platform. It's creator-led because it's decentralized and not for profit. Control of the platform and, importantly, control of the AI will rest with the community of users. And what that does is that gives us the confidence to take the story of AI out to the publishing market, which is a real sore point for writers. Thank you. Fabulation is a place where readers, writers, and publishers come together, and they work together to guide and shape the future of publishing. On Fabulation, you'll find words that matter, new trends, and formats you weren't expecting. We've assembled a team that includes... Oh, I can't go backwards. That includes me, Lisa Wade, the FinTech Female of the Year 2024, who is a blockchain expert, an award-winning publisher in the UK. Thank you, and I need to stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So please welcome our judges to ask questions.
Thank you. I have a clarification question before I get to my main question. So the problem here is that attention is not distributed fairly to smaller publishers? And the solution is distributing that more efficiently?
No, the issue is beyond small publishers. The issue is with all books and all publishers, whether it's independent or traditional.
Okay, got you. Okay. So if we assume from like an entertainment industry standpoint, I mean, I guess my perspective is in gaming, movies, music, where 90% of the attention floods to 10% because it's just a hit-driven industry. Yep. How exactly is that solving for, presumably, books have the same sort of dynamic?
Yeah, they do. The answer is that actually what happens, it's funny having to lean down, sorry. The answer in the publishing world is that people are having to pay to play for promotion. On our platform, there's no promotion allowed. The AI search brings back pure search results that allows one book to be brought back above the other. So if you're searching for a particular type of thing, it will bring that back as a result without manipulation and without pay to play. It's pure search. Okay. So if you apply that to other industries, it can actually work in those two.
Okay, thank you.
Well done, Pete Simon. And my question is it kind of like a Web3 startups? Like, because I see that you got token there.
Yes, Web3. Our challenge is that we need to bring Web2 audience to a Web3 startup. We're working with a Web3 company called CloudTech, who are actually incubating us as a product. And we're working with an AI expert company called Keep Simple AI, who are on here, who are building that component for us too.
Thank you. So could you elaborate more about like the token structures and also like how you're going to engage with the communities? And also, is it like the token ties to the IP, the profit streaming, like something like that?
Yeah, well, I don't think I've got time to answer that question. The simple answer is that what we're doing, rather than, if you look at crypto is a token without a particular value. It's just in the market. What we're saying with ours is that every word has a value, which is almost a real word asset in that effect. So.
Probably my view is a little bit similar to Lee. It's like I feel for the artist world or the entertainment, or even especially the artist world. There's some people try to solve the similar problem in the painting area, in the artist world. But the point is, in the reality, people only got the attention from the top one. So the most beautiful painting and the most wonderful writing part, right? So especially with the AI, in the AI era, and painting, music, and novels can be generated. So lots of middle or even lower level like writer will be disappear, will diminished. So I'm not so sure whether this is a real problem to solve or you understand something.
Yeah, we're actually trying to solve that problem. So the issue is that writers, it's difficult to know as a reader whether a writer is any good or not because we actually don't get to find their books. So as a reader, it should be up to us to make our minds up as what is good writing and what isn't. And currently we're not being given the opportunity because other books are pay to play ahead of us, even though they're not very good. How many of you here have bought a book that you've paid $15, $20 for and actually didn't think it was any good? I'm sure that everyone has had that experience. And the issue is the market's subjective and it chases profit. And what we're trying to say is, well, no, you as a reader deserve the opportunity to be able to make your own mind up as to whether a book's good or not. And you can only do that if you can find it.
Thanks, Simon. Great pitch. I think what you're describing here is really like a network-driven business, which are really beautiful things, very powerful business models once they get to scale. But there's obviously a big valley to cross there before you get to that kind of scale. What are some of the, let's say you kind of build the infrastructure for this. What are some of the immediate steps you'd take in the near term to sort of build up both the volume of publishers or kind of writers and then also kind of consumers, buyers on the other side?
Yeah, sure. Our first task is to 30 seconds. Thanks. Our first task is to raise money to take our beta product into an MVP, which is what we're currently trying to do. Our next task is to build content, put content on our platform. We've currently got 6 publishing partners who are going to give us their content. We then need to go out and get more publishing partners to have that content. And then once we've got enough content, we believe that we'll have the ability to then go out and start attracting a readership.
Yeah. Nice.
Great. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, so thank you so much. Next, we are going to move to Team 5. Welcome Ping and welcome our presenter, Lightman. Welcome. You want to use the microphone or this one? Okay. So how do I? This is the next page? This is the last one. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, I'm Lightman Wang, and I'm the co-founder of Dropping AI. So Dropping AI actually is like the AI-powered job assistant. It's not just for the resume optimization. It's actually to like end-to-end job, to find a job solutions. So the Dropping AI actually is founded this year, and we wanted to try to resolve the problem is the job seekers, they cannot find their job. And we everyone know the employment industry or the market is very bad. The job seekers don't know where their resume is going out to match the requirements of the recruiters of the companies. So for the Dropping AI, and we know, so I think the scariest things of AI area coming, we know is someone maybe lose your job. And someone like for the AI coding, even the AI, the programmer maybe didn't get the job. So I think the Dropping AI will solve this problem. It's the challenge for the job seekers. So the first thing is, how do we know of the resume to meet the requirements of the companies? And we use the AI, and sometimes before we use the AI, we have to find some who are working and to ask for the help. But sometimes different people in the different level, they give the different advices. But some advices actually is only from their perspective. It's not good for the first job seekers. So like the AI, we can train the AI to help the job seekers to change their resume and to meet the requirements of the jobs. Like the second is lack of interview preparation. From my students from the academy, and we know the students maybe they get the job the interview, but they don't know what we should do to prepare for the interview. But in the dropping AI, we can use the data and the data from LinkedIn and from the interview recording, and we know what's the next round of the interview. They will ask for the questions, and they can prepare their interviews. Even like in some companies, they have the 4-round interviews, but like the first is a hack round, but no one knows what's the hack round's content. Well, like in the dropping AI, if you apply for the like Microsoft, so they can prepare like the hack rank and to like do more the lead code for the interviews. So for the job seekers, it's very felt unsafe if they don't have the job, if they want to get the better job, and it's not easy to match the company's values or the cultures. So for the small company, they don't have like the HR teams. No one, like especially for the SSME, they cannot hire the HR. They cannot pay for the HR. So we build up like the co-pilot, the owner of the small business, just to ask the co-pilot, like for the restaurant, I want to recruit like three waitresses in the next week. So just ask to HR team, HR a co-pilot, and this co-pilot will to help the owner to get the candidate and to arrange the interviews for these restaurant owners. So for these like restaurant owners, they can reduce the cost of recruitment. So that's the value for the business. For the dropping AI, we put the first stage is to resolve the customs requirement. So like the first way is deep match. We can deep match the resume and the job description of the job, and to help give the suggestions how to resolve the problem. So it's like this. This is all the app. And when we can select all of the jobs and the batching and the batch to improve their resume, depends on different job description, just one click, just to like improve the resume, and AI will help to generate like if the 10 jobs, and AI will generate the 10 resumes, depends on 10 job descriptions. The second is like resume enhancer. It's more like the co-pilot. Okay, so do anyone use the cursor or any programmer? So it's like using the cursor to enhance their resume. You just in the right to try to improve their the experience or the summary, and the AI will help them to give the suggestion, and just you click accept or decline, your resume will change it. Okay. So for our team, I'm the co-founder of Dropping AI and also the founder of G Academy. My co-founder is Stan Law from the staff of McKinsey. So this is all the Dropping AI. We have two like revenue model. It's B2C subscription and B2B subscription. Okay, and if anyone wants to have the investment, you can connect me. Okay.
Thank you. Yep. So please welcome our judges to ask questions. Thank you.
Well done. That was a great pitch. Can you go back to the milestone slide? Maybe let's just see. And I wanted to sort of ask you where you're up to in terms of, like, if you sort of put this in front of customers, what sort of feedback have you got from them? Can you give us a sense of where you're up to with the sort of development?
Yes, still in the development. It's about like 90% of the features we had finished. So we will put it in the first seed users from G Academy. So we have a very big community, and we just to put this app into this of the users and to test whether it resolve their problems. If it works, and we will to push into the global market, not just Australia, also to the global market.
And what have you learned from those customer conversations around their sort of willingness to pay for something like this?
Before launching this app, we have making some personal survey and to ask my students whether they would love to pay for it. And especially if someone of the first job seeker or who seek the job, they know if someone to optimize their resume, they will pay like at least $100 to just one version of the resume. But using this product only like $9 monthly and to automatically to optimize their resume. It's very cheaper.
Thanks. Thank you. My question probably is around like, so this is basically, are you also building the platform? So you will, in your platform, you will have the small medium business and also have a job seeker, right? So you are not connecting to the external system, let's say LinkedIn or Seek.com.
Yeah, it's more like a tool, not the platform. So it's like resume tool to optimize the resume, cover letter, and the interview first. And after the stage one, and we will doing the marketing for the business. And because we need the users, and the users can be recommended to the business owners.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so in that way, then you are basically for the user job seeker, they basically use your platform to prepare the interview and doing the polishment, and which means it probably will only used when they're looking for a job, right? So, and when you do the ARR, it seems like $60 per person for 500 applicants. That's the 30K ARR you calculate. But that won't be ARR, isn't?
Yeah, it won't be.
Yeah, okay.
So it's like actually it's the old version of this pitch deck.
Sure.
So we didn't give the newest one. So that's why that's something problems. All right. But for the job in AI, actually we not just for the full-time job, actually for the part-time, casual, everything. It's just for, job in AI also recommends the jobs we have to everyone can input their jobs, opportunities, and if someone like copy the URL from one job URL and to put in the job in AI and put their resume here, and the AI will to get the content from the URL and to compare your resume. So, but this job opportunity will be recorded into this system, and everyone can apply for it. So it's more like the tools, not just for the platform.
I want to continue the question, like the Alan's question. So my focus is going to be like the CAC, because like you're doing like more like helping the students or the job finders to polish their resumes. So which means like if they use like 3 or 4 months later, if they find a job, probably they're gonna walk away. So which means the retention is going to be something that I'm very curious. And also in terms of giving that, the retention probably is a little bit hard. So how are you going to manage the CAC? The cost of acquisition per person is going to be $5, especially in a long run.
Yeah, it's like dropping as a job assistant. So we call it's not resume tools, actually the job assistant. If someone like working full time, actually they want to have extra revenue from their like after weekend. So like a job in AI can help them to find the extra job and to get the more revenue. So that's why we built the AI to help them to recommend the jobs. Okay. All right, thank you. Oh, okay. 30 seconds. Okay. So this is the job.
I'll do a quick question. Okay. Yeah, how are you different? I mean, this is a very competitive space. There's a lot of these that I see, probably on a weekly basis. So how are you different to every other AI resume tool?
I think I compare other different like resume optimization, but actually they cannot end-to-end resolve this problem, because I'm the founder of the Academy, and we have a lot of students. If there's the tools can really help the students to optimize their resume, I can recommend these tools, but actually there's any one of tools. That's why I wanted to build these tools by myself. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And next, let's welcome Team 6, and they are Care AI, and let's welcome presenter Melvin. Welcome. Do you want to use this one or my? Sure. Yeah. This one. Sure. And this is next page.
All right. Is this working?
Can you try?
Hello. Yeah. All right. Hi, everyone. My name's Melvin Chen. I'm the CEO and founder of Care AI. About 14 months ago, we started the company on a journey to address what I think is one of the biggest problems facing healthcare, which is admin burden. Just to give you a sense of the magnitude of the problem at hand. Say, let's take the US market, and there's two analogies we can draw to see the size of the problem. The US market, on aggregate, spends $4 trillion on healthcare per year. Of that, 1.3 trillion is associated with admin burden. A lot of that is humans putting data in and out of databases. Now, when I got to Australia, I noticed, actually, I thought that number can't be true. But then when I looked at the primary care market, the GP market, which we now play in, I realized that actually it is the case. Because when you go to see a GP, of the billings that you pay the GP, a third of it, or maybe a little bit more, goes to the GP practice. And the GP practice, what do? They do all the admin. All the admin that enables the doctors to operate. So that's the problem that we're solving. So the real issue that causes this problem is that currently it's all human, it's all manual. So you have receptionists when you go in, and you see the receptionists, all they're busy working away. And they're working away on these tasks, and at very high cost, because you have something called minimum wage. You have to pay people for a day's work. Unfortunately, they're doing work that really they're not good at. And what we found when I looked into this was that 40% or a little bit more of this work is associated with documents, and a large portion of that is filing documents. I'm not talking about the doctor's doing documents. I'm talking about just documents that come in that the doctor needs to see. Before they can see the documents that come in, say if you get sent to see a specialist, and a specialist said it comes back, then there's a layer of data entry that the receptionists have to do. So they have to sit there and enter a load of data before the document can come in. So we resolved to solve this huge pain point. We built a team of people. So I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I've been doing startups since 2015. A lot of pain along the way, but had a couple of successes. One exit, which was an IPO on NASDAQ for 1.6 billion. I was featured in Forbes 30 under 30 list for one of my other startups. And then I've teamed up with Andy and now Ethan to build this company with a bunch of other advisors from clinical and from technology. So I have to admit, I've been building and going to market so intensely. This deck is actually 10 months old. So firstly, just recognize that. This is a 10-month-old deck. I've added 2 slides, just 2, to renew this. Thankfully, pretty much most of it, almost all of it, is still intact. So we've added a couple of actually very interesting advisors. One of the advisors that we brought on board to give us real technical depth is someone called Eric. Eric is the CTO of Harrison AI, a very well-funded company in Australia and homegrown company. So one of the slides is this. I want to show you what the product is. This is a screenshot taken of a product webinar we did yesterday with one of the groups that we're going into. It's a group called 4Health, which is one of the largest healthcare groups in Australia. This is their receptionist demoing their product to all of the business managers. Essentially, on the left, before, when they had to get document into the the practice management software, they have to manually enter 7 fields and read all of the documents. Now we've built a product called Samantha that does that very accurately, cross-checks it with the database, and reduces the errors to almost 0, and reduces the time taken from that from, say, 6 hours a day or 4 hours a day to 20 minutes. So it's a 10 times increase in productivity and accuracy. So really it's about quality. We realize, one thing that we realize, it's more about quality than just about cost saving. Quality is much more important. That's one thing that we didn't get quite right, but now we realize it's really about the quality. This is a slide from 10 months ago where we said, hey, this is in October, November, we said, what are we going to do this year? And thankfully, we said by Q3 we get 80 sites. We're currently at 90 sites. And this is a new slide as well. This is the growth since launch. I don't know how we did this, but we grew at 164% week on week for the last 17 weeks. And we're now at an ARR of 450K with 0 churn. So that's really what I've been spending all the time on, is just once we hit product market fit, there's actually I should have put another video of the receptionists dancing as they were using our product. That was the really other one. They currently pay between 5K and 15K for our product, and it's based on number of doctors. It's a huge market, as I said, it's a $1 trillion market. In Australia, I think admin in GP land can be a $200 million TAM, not a $50, $100 million. And the reason is we're substituting human labor. We're not going for the budget for software. We're going for the budget for, hey, we can now run a big practice with 3 people instead of 8, 10 people. So that's what we're going for. It's a huge market. We're growing. I think we're probably the fastest growing B2B AI company in healthcare by quite some way. We monetize extremely efficiently. And that's just our first agent. We're now releasing Veronica for voice, a lot of other agents that we're developing. And as the groups come on, I think I'll be very disappointed if we don't hit 1.5 million of revenue before the end of the year. And so, and this has all been, so far we have a very lean team, 6 people, and we'll be growing that as we continue growth. So that's it. Thanks for listening to my presentation.
Hey, Melvin. Oh. It's dead. Oh, hey, Melvin. It's funny, to those in the room, when we think about the anti-VC portfolio, we saw Melvin in November, and he's just obviously been executing at a rapid pace, and we're misleading us around. So well done. I guess I'll just throw you a softball because you're a mate. How do you plan on increasing your ACV from, let's say it's now at 6K, how do you plan on getting from that to 20 to 30K across all the clinics in Australia?
Yeah, look, we don't know exactly, but we do know there are a lot of problem statements in GP admin around how they interact with patients, how do they communicate healthcare information. So that's one big problem statement. How do you also figure out what services to provision? And so that essentially there's going to be an AI-powered CRM opportunity, there's going to be a super app opportunity, there's going to be booking voice, which I think is actually less big than other people think. There's probably some opportunities in sort of scribe land, which is currently very overhyped. But essentially there's a lot of opportunity to get towards. We may even get beyond 30. I mean, some of our customers are already paying us 15K.
Thank you, Moen. So this is also a very competitive area, like the previous one. My question probably is around, so 2 questions.
So firstly, what do you mean it's a competitive area? So we attended a conference.
Let me finish. Let me finish that. So first, when I say competitive, means lots of people actually playing in this area. Okay.
Which area are you talking about?
In the GP AI automation area. Okay, so my first question is around your profile. So the 60 GP or 90 GP you get, what are those GPs? Are they like GP chains or small GPs?
Yeah, we have now 7 GP chains, including some of the largest
7
GP chains in the country.
And the second question related to that is why you guys and not others? Because we actually know there's 2 groups are also looking at this GP space, and one of them, they have the AI solution, and they are buying the GP chain to implement their software. So I just want to understand, like,
so
why
you say it's
guys-
competitive. I think AI automation in general is competitive, but we found a niche where we have now realized, and that's why we've been growing so fast. At the BP Summit, BP is 85% of the market for the PMS for GPs. Some people were saying they have demos and they have this product and that product. We realized we are the only game in town. We dominate the niche segment for importing documents, which takes 30% of the receptionist time. No one has solved that problem. So in terms of competition, we have a 6 to 9 month lead to anyone who would want to do that. We built a product that's so slick and so good that that wouldn't make sense. It would be like me trying to do just a hot dog. And some people have asked me, should I just do hot dog? Why do a red ocean play? So there currently is no competition. We're by far the best. And the reason we're the best is because I've cut out product. I have engineers that are product engineers. We have we have the best customer service by far. We have a channel for every customer with the whole team on there. And so you can't really, the way I've built the team, the culture, that's our competitive edge.
Thank you.
I really love your ideas, and I think you got a very beautiful tractions already. So my question is, like, in terms of like the next 2 or 3 years, do you expect that you still want to dive into the GP area, or you want to, like just the GP areas in the US, maybe in Singapore, in other countries, or just maybe you can, scale for like specialists, not just the GP?
Yeah, so the company that I was involved in that exited for 1.6 billion, I was head of international for that business. I was VP for international. International expansion is very difficult. You have to think it through very carefully. You can't simply just copy and paste a concept, because there's a lot of localization. So that's something we have to think very carefully about. There's already a huge market, as I say, in GP land, but we recognize that there are other segments like dental, radiology, pathology. So the strategy is to go into those thoughtfully, but there's already a lot of value here. And when we go to the US, it will be in a very thoughtful way.
Nice one, Melvin. Well done. I want to ask you a broader question. Do you think voice will be a feature or a category?
I don't. So far, the discussions with customers is that it's quite hard to implement. It's very expensive from a COGS perspective, and the use cases, we'll get there. I think we're seeing 20% of our customers really want it. We'll get there, and we are the wedge. We're the gateway to AI. If you don't have an existing AI product there, it's very hard to get in. That's why you see these companies like any of the other companies, they're really not getting traction. Okay. Thanks so much, guys. I have a demo if you want to come and see it later.
Yep, thank you, our judges, and also our teams, and all of you being such a really engaged audience. So while our judges are finalizing the scores, we'd like to take a few moments to thank the amazing organizations. Thanks our co-hosts, AIDG Community, 莫大创投俱乐部, Melbourne Venture Club, SIA Melb, Cambridge AdTech, the University of Melbourne, and Melbourne Connect. And also thanks our collaborators, World Trade Center, Chinese Alumni Network, Keros, ACYPI, Australia-China Young Professionals Initiative, 中澳青年领袖联合会. And also thanks Ostroid, ERSA, and IRL by Amber. Thank you. Next, thanks our sponsors. Thank you, Fabulation, A Case, Cremorian Digital Hub, Boson Ventures, HighLink, Mailliard Education and Support Center, also the GR Academy, Nexus MDAI, and also TRAE, Alibaba Cloud. Thank you so much. Yep, we are truly grateful for your commitment to innovation and for helping us create a platform where ideas can grow and thrive. And also thanks CDH, and they provide wonderful package for the award-winning group. So for the first prize, they will provide a slot at the next live deck breakdown event with the real with the real VC, coaching sessions with Allinson, and use of CDH Clubhouse, and also small meeting rooms for follow-ups. And also for second prize, they will provide office hours and also coaching sessions with Leo Robos, and use of the CDH Clubhouse, small meeting rooms for follow-ups. And also for third prize, they provide the use of the CDH Clubhouse and the meeting rooms for follow-ups. And also we have to use, thanks to our sponsor, Yates. They will provide $500 bonus for first winner. Ooh, great, yeah. So now we're just waiting for the final results. Then we'll announce the top 3 teams of the AI startup pitching showcase later. Yep. So now we're still waiting the results. I really enjoyed the presentations and also our judges, the questions. Do you have any other questions? And you can maybe also communicate and chat with our team and also our judges. Thank you. Okay, everyone, I got the final results. Oh my God, this is exciting time. Hello, everyone. Yep, and the first I will say the third prize. Okay, so the first, I will say the third prize is Archiva AI. Welcome. Archiva, and welcome Mr. Paul Hammer MP to present awards. Welcome our presenter, Archiva AI, to come to the stage. Hello. Oh, he left? Archiva AI. Yep, maybe. Yeah, because he's left. Yeah.
We just take a photo.
Okay, so we just take the photo. Okay, 3, 2, 1, cheers. Thank you. So this is the third prize, and next I will talk about the second prize is Since Dried. Where is our presenter? Please come to the stage. Since Dried. Perfect. Okay. Congratulations. We take a pictures. Yep. Where's camera? Okay. 3, 2, 1. Cheers. Perfect. Okay. So next is the first winner, the first prize. That'll be Care AI. Welcome. Yep. And to present awards. Well, congratulations. Okay, we'll take pictures. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you so much. So I just we move to the next part, and thank you so much. I'm today's host, Oscar. Thank you.
Oops. I'll just let the traffic go slowly. Thank you all for the patience, and thank you all for watching the AI pitching competition we inserted. Sorry guys, we're going to the next section, sorry. Yes.